Greetings, this is Dr. Douglas Maurer from iMedical Apps with another medical app review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new 2017 Gold COPD Pocket Guide app. This app is the companion app to the Gold Guidelines, which are considered the gold standard, if you will, of COPD treatment. They're updated every year, and the 2017 guidelines were released in January. This new app just came out a few weeks ago. Let's take a look. Their prior app had not been updated since 2015, so it's great to see this new one on the market. As you can see here, when you open the app, you see some interactive tools that are highlighted. I'll come back to those in a second. Some key points, a podcast tab, and some general headers that are the essentially table of contents, if you will, for the COPD Pocket Guide. Well, on the bottom you see some areas to go back and forth, an area to make some favorites, for example, of both content and tools, and some information about the app, including some nice settings. It's nice, for example, to see that you can turn off Google Analytics, for example. Let's take a look at content. I think the highlight of the app is right here, these interactive tools. One of the keys for COPD treatment is the assessment of the patient. So although you have to have a certain spirometry criteria to make the diagnosis, you still can grade the patient based off of their FEV1, which if you see here, between 50 and 79, we'll say, symptom questionnaire. You can choose which one you want to use. It then will walk you through that tool, so you can put the score in, for example. But if you're not sure what that tool is, well, here's the actual assessment tool, which you can grade right on the app, which is really nice to see. That was not available previously in their other app, or really hardly any other apps at all, except for one called the COPD Pocket Consultant, which I reviewed last year. You can see how that goes right into the area. Navigation, as you can see here, can be a little trickier than it probably needs to be. So anyways, we're back to our COPD assessment, just kind of showing you what that would look like. We can use the other one this time if we want. Put in the score. How many exacerbations has the patient had? And this has changed this year. That's why using the last year's guidelines, it is different this year, particularly this section here about exacerbation history. And you can see our patient has a gold grade 2 or a group D for that particular patient. It has more information about what that really means. And then you could look at potentially another tool, this time the treatment algorithm. So if we knew that our patient was, you can just reset this, group D, it now talks about non-pharmacologic treatment as well as pharmacologic treatment and the recommendations for each of those. Now these are not further hyperlinked in the sense of giving more information about the meds, which would be nice to see. So you would have to either go to the more information tab here or go back to the beginning, and then you can look up information about, for example, management of stable COPD, look at overall key points, and go down to the section on medications. There's also a patient guide here and then the pocket guide of the app. So some things I like about this app: it's currently the only one that contains the current 2017 COPD Gold Guideline. I really enjoy this assessment section under the tools. You can see the content here. Again, I kind of wanted to show you that you can blow this up a little bit more and look at, say, treatment in detail for pharmacologic treatment. There's a number of algorithms and pictures that are in here. I go out for interactivity. It jumps through the app quite nicely, which is great to see. I love all those tools, as I've said. This patient handout you can send to your patient right from the app, which is quite handy. And it's also available for Android, which is always great to see for our various apps. Some things I don't like about it, some of the chapter sections are pretty brief. Granted, this is supposed to be the pocket guide, but it'd be nice if you could actually link to greater detail via the main guideline, either via web link or have that embedded, because there's no complete PDF of the guideline, just the pocket guide is included. I already kind of showed you how the navigation can be a little bit tricky. And this podcast function is still under the coming soon category. It's not available yet. The app's also $2.99, which may be something that deters some folks from purchasing. I think this interactive tool guide alone is probably worth the $2.99. But for others, the PDF of the guideline is available online and is free. So that's my look at the Gold 2017 COPD Pocket Guide. This is Dr. Douglas Maurer from iMedical Apps. Take care.